What's going on, Niner fam? It is Peter Lucas. This is the Niner Fanatic Podcast. What's going on, y'all? And once again, we went a little bit backwards. I feel like in this game, it was a little too close for comfort but that's the way it goes. Division game, short week. I mean, it was a hostile crowd. Purdy's first hostile crowd. All the excuses were laid out there for us, but the reality is the Niners were just better than the Seahawks. That's really what the game came down to. Even the refs tried to get involved just to make the game more interesting, but the reality was the 49ers were just better than the Seahawks, and it is what it is. But I guess the story, I'm kind of interested to know what the story is going to be tomorrow, because the first thing we got to do is we got to celebrate because we won the division for the first time since 2019, and we won it in week 15. So we're pretty much dominating the division this year. I believe we've swept them so far. I think we got one more game against Arizona, but this team showed once again that, first off, this defense is elite. Second off, that they have weapons all over the field, and third, Kittle's demise was greatly exaggerated. A lot of people thought that he wasn't in that top tier tight end class anymore, and he went to show you today that yes, he is. Yes, he is. He got wide open on a couple of plays and outran a couple of guys. But a couple of guys just didn't even want to tackle him. That was really what it came down to. But it was more of a domination than the score would indicate. I feel like, because the 49ers dominated the game for a majority of the game. But the refs, like I said, the refs tried to get involved and call a bunch of ticky-tack nonsense just to get in my opinion, to get Seattle back in the game. They needed this game. I'm not going to speculate on why they would call the ticky-tack flags, but the reality is it just didn't matter. It didn't matter. For this defense was up to the task, and I want to start off with my thoughts on Purdy. Because, Purdy was the story coming in was that how is he going to do? He's going into a hostile environment. It's only his second start. And now let's see what the kid is really made of. Like we're still waiting on him to have his Nick Mullins meltdown moment. And it still hasn't happened. He had another near interception, but didn't happen, and so we're not going to count it as an interception. But I mean, he ended up with 217 yards, 17 and 26, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he only took 1 sack. His QB rating was 117. So compared to, Geno Smith had to throw the ball 44 times in this game. It just, to me, the Seahawks didn't have a good. You saw what happens when you take away their running game. I mean, they've been leaning on that run game the whole season. I know that everybody wanted to make this a feel good story about Geno Smith being rated better and like all that other kind of stuff, but the reality is he's not. I mean, nobody's really been good enough to beat the 49er defense, but I think they they got some pressure on him, and it is what it is. Like, I don't care how good he was playing. The 49ers defense has marginalized almost every quarterback they've played except for Mahomes this season. So it is what it is. But Purdy I think he had a relatively good game. He had there was a couple of drops, a couple of missed throws. They got some pressure on him. I didn't think Kyle did him any favors with the play calling. I thought that the play calling was it wasn't one of Kyle's best. I will say that. And if we're going to nitpick about it wasn't Kyle's best at game script. I mean, we have another game where Jordan Mason only got 4 carries. It's like he's trying to drive CMC into the ground and ride him all the way. I mean, he's your leading receiver. He had 26 carries in this game. But yeah, he's your leading receiver with 6 catches also. Yes, he had a touchdown, but I honestly, I don't know. I don't understand like why we cannot use Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason had 4 carries. He had 64 yards. Now, granted, a majority of that was off of one run at the end of the game. But once again, it was when they all knew he was going to run the ball and they just couldn't bring him down to the ground. I think that if he had been used earlier in the game, this game probably wouldn't have been even as close as it was. I'm gonna die on that hill that I think that Kyle is grossly mismanaging these running backs, and he may end up paying for it. He may not, but I still think it's a mismanagement. Like we're gonna feel real bad if CMC ends up getting hurt because we're just running him into the ground. That's my personal opinion, but I digress. Let's move on let's talk about the running backs because CMC had a pretty solid game. I just felt like towards the end of the game, they were keying on him. Like they were stacking the box the whole game. They did not have any respect for Purdy, and Purdy really didn't give them much reason to respect him in this game. They didn't do too many long passes. I mean, yeah, he had he made his layup throws, and that was the important thing. Like, but he didn't make how do you put this? He didn't make the plays like he did in the previous game. And I think that that it's a testament to Seattle's defense came to play today. I think that they were all in about trying to not let the 49ers get this clinch the division in their stadium. And honestly, it's a division game. Pete Carroll is always going to be a tough out for the 49ers. It's just something about Pete Carroll. I don't know what it is, but what's going on, Eric? Just saw you there. Appreciate you coming in, man. Yeah, it was. I was impressed with how the defense, the Seahawks defense played, and they made life hard for Purdy. But I think that kind of went to show. I think that goes to show you like what exactly how dangerous this 49er offense is in the fact that they tried to take away CMC and like they weren't really respecting Purdy. But I mean, I feel like we have those layup throws in our back pocket at this point. Purdy's shown that he can make those throws and at a pretty good clip. And I dare I say it, like, I mean, the kid it doesn't matter if you blitz him. Like if you want to try and get pressure, he's making those reads at the line of scrimmage. And he's pretty, I mean, he is really decisive. Like he knows exactly where he's going to go pre-snap. And the one little gripe that I guess I would have with him is that sometimes he can hold the ball just a little bit longer just to see if he can get something down the field. Like, but that's a small gripe because the man completes passes. He gets the ball. he hits his guys in stride. He doesn't leave them hanging out to dry like we used to talk about with Jimmy. Not to make this a Jimmy bashing thing, but I mean, that's the reality. Like Jimmy threw a lot of hospital balls, and we didn't even know what a hospital ball was before Jimmy. And but Purdy, to his credit, he was hitting guys in stride. He was hitting guys to let them carry the ball after the cat. Like, I mean, it was a really good performance. It when we say really good performance, he had 217 yards. So it wasn't like it was perfect or otherworldly, but he does exactly what's needed in this offense. So I think he's exactly what this offense needed. But hey, I want to say what's up to Corey. Appreciate you coming in. He said, "Do you think that was a personal foul?" Of course not. that was a terrible call. Like, there were so many bad calls in this game, but I did like the fact that they didn't let DK get away with that, with pulling Shavari Mooney Ward down. Like, that was because normally I don't think that they get that call, but yeah, the Nick Bosa call. I mean, and honestly, the legal hands to the face when he's being tackled, it was a bad call in my opinion too. Like, so the refs did not do a good job in this game. It was they too often just became part of the part of the game, and you're, as an official, that is exactly the opposite of what fans want to see. We don't want to see the officials being a part of the game. We want to see the guys playing the game. And honestly, the stuff that they called had no the only thing that it was doing was messing up the flow and messing and guiding them down the field. That's all it was. So, but so yes, I did not agree with that. Oh, I got a special guest with me today. I got Twin up in the building, and I am going to. Are you muted? I think you're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Now I hear you now. Hold on, let me.
What's cracking?
What's going on? Hey, like
Hey,
great win today, and great win today. And man, how excited are you for us to be division champions in week 15?
man, I was excited until I dropped my shot.
Oh man,
I'm sad.
I feel you. I
Oh
didn't even bother
man,
having a drink yet, like because I had to go on live, but
that was
yeah, I plan on
depressing.
having one after this. But
I was going to celebrate, having one, but I got a little twig left. But bang, bang, not a game. Shout out to your
yeah,
2022, 2023 NFC West champions. You know what I'm saying? I got a little twig, But yeah,
so
man, what's up? How you doing today, man?
hey man, hey, so Twin, you make sure you guys go and subscribe to Twin's channel. Look for why don't you tell them where they can find you on the socials?
Hey, check out YouTube Twin Empire, TWINEMPIRE, Twin Empire, man. Check me out. Make sure you like, sub to the channel, leave a comment. I'll make sure I get back to you guys, man. I appreciate the follow. And also hit me up on the one and only the little bird, the little blue bird, man. Hit me up on Twitter. I love to sit there and talk cash money without the Army nor the Navy. Twin Empire with the X and a 2, mainly because I have 2 sets of twins. So I like to give my little
Crazy.
children a shout out whenever somebody follow me on the socials or whatnot. So I appreciate everybody coming through, man. Especially you, Pete.
Absolutely.
I love you out here on this thing, baby. We can celebrate this wonderful win, this victory, and I'm kind of a little excited. I'm glad today.
Yeah, man, I am thrilled. Like the fact that, I mean, this is our first division championship and since 19,
19,
and
yeah.
which is a good omen. It's a good omen. I mean, last time we won the division, we went to the Super Bowl. So like let's get it. We coming for that number 2 spot. But I want to get to some of these comments that, like, Enoch said, 49ers won. Who's the biggest threat against us? Honestly, I think it's the 49ers. If the 49ers play the way that they're capable of playing, I don't think that there's a team in this league that can really, when this defense is clicking and the offense is just, and we just get the ball into our playmakers' hands, I don't think that there's a defense in this league or an offense that can really mess with us. So it's I know that you got the Eagles out there and they've got a good squad. I don't want to take anything against them, but at the same time, I think I'm going to have faith in my 49ers. I think that my 49ers I think we have a better team than they do. When we're clicking.
And also, man, we got the experience. The teams that we do see that's coming up, whether they are in front of us or maybe like the Vikings, they're right there. We are the most experienced, not only got the young boys, but then we also have the veterans. I think we have a wonderful mixture, of not only talent, but also experience. And there's one thing that we know when you go into the playoff, it's a whole different atmosphere. You got to worry about your family. You got to worry about travel. You have to worry about just the build up, the extra media. Like there's a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes that we have already experienced as I run in 2019 with some of those players left over from there, and then also last year. And so, with that being said, I have to agree with you. We are we got to worry about ourselves, take care of our responsibilities, low penalties, low turnovers. If we do those two things, we good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, my boy Adam, that's my brother. We've known each other since we were like 6.
So hey, say when y'all was out there playing Power Rangers, huh?
Oh man, handball. But
he wants to know what you shoot.
Oh no, y'all! Hey, I'm
the
handball champion. Handball champion. Adam knows, handball champion and low cuts, all that.
Man, you ain't about that hand. You ain't ambidextrous like that, man. Don't you get started on this? Hey,
I can't do it now. I can't do it now.
Okay.
I'm 45. I'll leave my arm out there on the court. But he wanted to know what you're shooting on.
Well, I got some. I'm Southern, so we call it that pat run. I'm gonna crack this open for y'all tonight. Little pat run. I'm gonna celebrate my own little way.
Oh, okay.
Little pat run, little silver. I once was a whiskey guy, but as I've aged, I need a little agave, something nice and natural to try to keep my figure and my beard growing gracefully. So
I'm the exact opposite. I used to drink all the Patron. Now I'm strictly whiskey. So
I just left whiskey about 6 months ago, man.
Man, I gotta have it. I love my Irish whiskey.
Yes, sir.
Now Kelt's in the building. He said Purdy reminds him of Peter Parker. He does kind of look like him. He does. I gotta say, he does kind of look like him.
Which one though? Which one?
Oh,
the first, the second?
No, I would say the one now.
Oh, the young one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's so small.
He is tiny, right?
Yeah.
I see it sometimes in his play. I'm like, you such a tiny young fella out there amongst them boys, amongst them giants, amongst them titans. But I appreciate him, man. He played a decent game today,
Yeah. But Enoch said, do you think the 49ers Achilles heel or the Kansas City Chiefs? I think it would be different if we played them again, just because we were ridiculously injured in that game, especially on defense, and we were missing a bunch of guys on defense. I think it would be a different game. But I mean, not to say that it would be like we would just kill them or anything, but I think having a different quarterback that's able to get the ball to our guys in space and in stride, not, like I said, not throw those hospital balls. I think that it would be huge. In that, it would have been huge in that game. Purdy's shown that he's pretty good on third down, and so yeah, I just think it would be a different game. What do you think?
I love that you say hospital balls. I hope people understand what that means. It's not trying to be mean towards our previous quarterback, but it's something that was, an issue. We are a team that can be high when it comes to injuries, but you don't need to be throwing that ball high, and trying to get the players off their feet or have to extend when you extend like that as a wide receiver, man, you make your target area even bigger. And you don't want any safeties or any linebackers looking at you and saying, "Ooh, I have a lot to hit now." Purdy make sure he gives the guys the opportunity to catch it and then get down low. But yeah, man, I think we good.
Yeah.
Kansas City is not as good as they once were.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying that they're bad, but the equalizer in Tyreek Hill is just, I mean, the guy he's special. They still have some comparable talent on the outside, but it's just not Tyreek Hill. So with that being what it is, and even if people want to say that they don't like Purdy as much as Jimmy Garoppolo because of the inexperience, them not having Tyreek Hill helps us out. So it kind of levels us out. And then our defense being as good as it is, I think it takes to a whole nother level. Again, I want to make sure that people give D'Amico Ryans his flowers. He's coaching up one hell of a squad right now on the defensive side, man. All 3 levels, through injury, through just, I mean, everything we've gone through on the defensive end. He's consistently been able to miss and match, give guys confidence, give guys belief. Big up to Talanoga Hufanga early in the game. I thought that set the tone coming off that edge with that
that was
blitz,
beautiful.
man. Oh my gosh. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Put some fires in the
was...
chat. Put some T's in the chat for Hufanga,
yeah,
man.
it was, man.
Come on. That was lovely. I was like, ooh, I was so mad. I thought we was going to get that fumble. I was like, I thought we had like earlier in the game. I was like, oh, that's a strip fumble. It's a strip fumble, you know, but they recovered. But just the energy that he plays with, the mentality that D'Amico Ryans played with today, where he was blitzing more often than he has ever. Well, of recently,
than he usually
doesn't
does,
blitz them. Yeah, he was out there calling up them plays, but I think he was just trying to tell his players, I believe in you guys. Let's not get these people any type of confidence early on in this game. We're going to stabilize them, and we want to let them know that we're coming for the heads. And I loved it.
Yeah, for sure. I want to mention. Eric wanted to know, to have you mention your YouTube channel again, so he can hit you up with the sub. Yeah, we definitely want to get them subs. If you're not, make sure you're liking, sharing, hitting the bell for the notifications to let you know when I go live and when Twin. But why don't you tell them one more time, Twin?
Yeah, most definitely, man. Thank you for asking. Twin Empire. I would say it's a compound word. I didn't separate. I didn't put no space in between. So just put Twin Empire in your search engine, and you should see me, the bearded one, come up upon your on your screen. And make sure you just hit that wonderful sub channel, man. I mean, that sub button, man. Like and comment. I definitely appreciate it, man.
Yeah, for sure. And I gotta mention, see, I'm trying to tell you, like he's trying to tell you right now. He did his thing at in handball back in the day. Like I can't bend over that far anymore. Like but it is what it is. Like back then I was killing people. But appreciate you coming through, Adam. And then he said he loves the Patron. Yeah, that dude loves himself some tequila.
Here we go. This for you, Adam, right here.
Yeah. Hey, welcome, Cowboy. Appreciate you coming in, man. Appreciate seeing you often. He said also, he said, playoffs, here we come.
Playoffs,
man.
Yes, sir.
Cannot wait. We're gonna get at least one home game now, and I think we've taken the hard route. We took the hard route last year, and we're gonna get our home game, at least one. I'm hoping I'm still shooting for that number 2 spot. Like, but we'll see.
It's gonna be rough. The Vikings,
we need the Vikings to lose.
And I mean the Cowboys are right there too as well. And so we got to see what they're going to do, because I think the Cowboys only lost 3 games, and the Vikings only lost 3 games, right? If I'm not mistaken, somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, but the Cowboys, I think they got one more game against the Eagles.
Yeah,
and I think they have an interesting game this week too against. I think they're playing the Jets.
Jacksonville.
Oh, Jacksonville.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be an interesting game. So, yeah, we'll see. We see. Oh, and RP, appreciate you coming through. Like, brought the teas with him for Talanoa. Enoch hitting him with the teas.
Big
Even
up to my
Eric's a Seahawks fan. And he's hitting up the tees. So,
hey, game recognized game, man. Big up to you, Eric, being
yeah, appreciate you coming
wonderful
in, bro.
sportsman. Being a wonderful sportsman. And hey, my brother and I did a show yesterday, and he kept on talking about, hey man, y'all got a lot of missed tackles, man. I say, listen here.
Yeah, I
Whenever
watched it.
we look, hey, we may miss tackles, god dog
Yeah.
it, but just know you got about 0.3 seconds before somebody else coming. So sorry about my voice, but look, we coming though. If we miss one, don't think that you're finna get out here and run another 45, 50 yards. Like, nah, man. It's the mentality that D'Amico Ryans tell these guys. Go with reckless abandonment. Cover
Yeah.
your brother's back. Don't be afraid to try to sit there and gather yourself and get shucking out there. No, go get it. We got your back. Let's play together. And I love that mentality that we have out there.
For sure. And you saw Greenlaw make another play. It was made another play. I mean, that was just it was a nice little hit that he put on that guy. And but I mean, Greenlaw once again, I mean, the guy just comes through in timely moments. And him and Talanoa, and I would be remiss to not mention Mooney Ward. Mooney Ward,
Yes.
he locked up.
Mississippi, baby.
Yeah,
Let's go. Sip City.
He locked DK up. They had to move DK in the slot because they were tired of him getting locked up.
Yes.
And DK, you could see the frustration on his face. He was just tired of getting touched up every 2 seconds, and it was a beautiful performance by the defense, like all the way around. Bosa was just beating those it didn't matter which tackle it was, left, right, whatever,
man, that was
whatever side, he was just beating them like a drum. And
that was a horrible call.
Yeah, the ref.
Oh my
for the
God,
refs to come through, it was crazy.
That was a horrible call, man. I don't mean to interrupt, but that roughing the man pass penalty was so egregious. I was like, that's what you want to call. I was thinking Bosa did something that was excessive.
Yeah, but he didn't even hit him they said it was because he put his whole body on him. But I mean, where was he supposed to go?
It wasn't. I don't like. I understand we're trying to protect the quarterback, but Nicky Bosa get held probably every other play, and for him to finally go through there, and I mean, he was killing the edge. I mean, those tackles today, and you call that, and I was like, bro, just a momentum shift, and even bigger. You know what? You mentioned Mooney Ward. Let's give him his flowers. Straight out Mississippi, Macomb, 20 minutes away from where I live, where I grew up. Diamador Lenore. Second-year player.
Yep, he had a good game too.
This is because he's stacking. He's stacking repetition. I mean reps, and he's stacking good games.
Yep.
And last year, everybody tackle. Remember, it was Aubrey Thomas last year. Y'all remember that? Last year it was Ambry Thomas coming in, played like the last 3 games, did really well. This year, it's been longer than 3 games, but since Emmanuel Mosley has been hurt, he's been coming in. He's been heady. He's been playing with swagger. He's been playing with confidence. I just want to give him some flowers for what he's doing as only a second-year player, man. Big up to you, Diamador Lenore. Appreciate you out there. I love what you're doing.
Yeah, he was tackling today. He guys were not. He was not the one missing tackles, for sure. And I mean, like you said, he's just really. I love how physical our corners are, because it helps us. It helps the defense so much against the run. Like, there's just nowhere to go. There's just nowhere to go. And even especially on those screenplay, I mean, they had to stop calling screens because they almost got that one. I thought was a fumble.
Yeah,
I thought, the one at the beginning of the
Warner,
game.
Was that Warner who broke on that one early on?
I think.
Hufanga.
I think Bosa tipped it, but I thought it was. It looked like a backward pass to me, but I'll probably rewatch it again later. But yeah, it was a dominating performance by the defense. I know they gave up the late touchdown, and they gave up another one in the midway through the first, but they played well. I think the refs kind of led them down the field, and for the one, and yeah, like
You know who thought that was though, right? I'm gonna be honest. You know who thought that was?
which
That Seahawks got those points.
yeah.
Our offense was too stagnant. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh yeah,
Our,
yeah, yeah.
our offense didn't produce like it should have.
Yeah,
We had a couple of
I mentioned earlier before you came on about like I wasn't a fan of the play calling like
yeah,
today.
yeah.
But yeah, I agree
So
with you.
I mean, and the defense was trying to hold up, but I think eventually they would look at like, bro, y'all gotta come out here and do a little bit more on the offensive end, especially when we was out here shutting them down. But it
Mhm.
is what it is. I ain't gonna be too picky this time because it's been weeks of some wonderful turnovers, and I love seeing turnovers by our defense. And Dre Greenlaw again, when he hit my man's and that, hey, you remember Tecmo Bowl? I don't know. You used to play
Oh
Tecmo Bowl back in
yes.
the day?
That's how I became a
Hey,
49er fan.
so me and my brother, we used to play. This was the original fantasy football for y'all young folks who play Madden. Y'all might not
Yeah.
understand. But I grew up in the house. It was 4 boys. We all had picked a team, and it used to be a creative player mode. This is early throwback,
Mhm.
and we always to get pick one creative player, and we have the opportunity. Me and my brothers, we'll get one player from each position from random teams in the NFL, and we'll play our whole season like that. But
Mm.
but shout out to Tecmo Bowl. But my man said bloop 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 bloop, and I can only see on Tecmo Bowl, it'll be like this flash screen that come and it'll say fumble, or it'll say like 100-yard receiver, or it'll say like interception. You remember that? You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
Coach?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so that hey, when I saw Drake Greenlaw hit him and that ball popped in the air, all I saw was
Oh,
fumble.
and then it bounced like right to right, it was Mooney Ward, right?
Mooney. Yep, it was
Yeah.
Mooney.
It just bounced right to, I mean, it was just like it was just perfect the way it's like they timed it up. But
Yeah,
Enoch wants to know in your heart of hearts, when do we think Debo's coming back? I think they're going to keep him out until the playoffs. That's my personal opinion.
I
Like, what
concur.
do you think? Yeah, I
I
just
look. Hey, there's no reason because the way you was cooking when you was talking about. See, this scares me with Shanahan. You was talking about the rushing attempts that Christian
mm,
McCaffrey was having,
yeah,
and
it
I'm
was
sitting here looking like,
ridiculous.
why do we have to exhaust this young fella like that when we have a young, undrafted rookie? Like he a young boy. I remember when I
Yeah.
was 21, 22 years old. Like, bro, testosterone on full blast, like steaming.
Yeah.
Why we don't have this young boy in there when we are matriculating down the field? Expel Christian McCaffrey for even a series. It's not like, in my personal opinion, that he's played that horribly. Because we seen last week, I thought he should have got in earlier. But once he
Yeah.
got in, you saw the ferocity in which he ran the ball with. I was thinking this week, okay, we know that this defensive line has been led in 100, 223 yards, 171 yards. Like, okay, let's keep the fresh legs going. Let's keep somebody who's a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. And then I was like, what are you doing, Kyle? Do you want like, yeah, anyway.
But
People
what do I say every time? Like about Kyle. Kyle is not gonna do the obvious. He's just not going to do it. Even if it's just slapping him in the face, saying, "Hey, like we're on the 1 yard line. Like we're on the 1 yard line. Like why can we not give it to our bigger back?" I know Christian McCaffrey got the touchdown. I get it. But I still would rather see Jordan Mason down there. Like
it
on
was a
those third and
struggle.
ones, like third and ones. And like those goal lines. Like I mean, like I know this team isn't caring about stats. So and you saw like he got 4 carries, and of course one of them he finally broke that one. I thought he was going to take it to the house,
Yeah, yeah.
but it is what it is. Like he just ran out of gas towards the end. But yeah, it was, but still I thought right then, like I know that they could just run out the clock. I thought right then they should have put the ball in the end zone, just gave it to Mason and let him complete the drive. But maybe that's too Maddenish for me, like for that. But But what do you think about the game plan as far as the receivers? How do you think the receivers did without Debo in the lineup?
I don't think they had a lot of opportunities. Like far as I don't think they were targeted that much. I truly don't believe that Brandon Ayuk was like covered like a blanket like that. In my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was swaddled. You know,
Yeah. Well, he had that drop like that. Oh, that was a brutal drop.
yeah. And I know why I think a lot of wide receivers drop the ball, like in modern day, especially
Mm-hmm.
for 49ers. Because we know that Debo led the league, or he was top 5 in like drops per year, like
I think he's still
drops.
leading the league.
Still lead,
I
okay.
think he's still leading the league.
I think because they don't have rhythm. They're not a rhythmic passing
Mm-hmm.
team, and they truly rely on the yak yard. So they know that only time their stats are going to be increased as far as yardage per game is if you catch it and look upfield and try to make a move quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that plays with them subconsciously when it comes to catching the ball. And that's the only issue I have where there's not. I just hope Kyle getting the rhythm to trying to. It should take Brandon Ayuk into the second quarter to get a pass. Like, nah, man, he's too good of a player. Get him involved early on in the game. I'm glad that George Kittle has been more featured, but I think there's enough opportunity where it's no offense to Christian McCaffrey, but if you ask me, in my humble opinion, I think maybe 8 of his touches
Yeah.
could be given to like distributed to
Elsewhere.
Brandon elsewhere. I'm just saying, man. Like,
Yeah.
dude,
I love that they got what's his name? That Ray
Ray
involved.
McLeod is
Like
one
you
thing.
saw, all you got to do is get him the ball in space and just let him do his thing. Like I mean, like most of our players, he's I think he's his own yak bro himself. I mean, he's a kick returner, and like I think his hands aren't bad. I don't think his hands are bad. Like so, it's it's just interesting. Like Kittle got wide open for both of those touchdowns, and like it was 2 touchdowns, right? Yeah, like
Yep.
and yeah, it would, and the rest of it, like you even saw Jennings get involved, but I think that's the biggest thing is that Purdy gets the ball to so many different guys that they don't like everybody's getting to touch the ball, and so nobody's really gets like 5 or 6. Like there's only one guy getting 5 or 6 targets, and the rest of them are all getting two or three.
And that's
Like
that's
because
the
they only
running
letting
back.
him throw the ball 27 times. So
Yeah, and that's the
yeah,
running back. And so that's
yeah,
why I say, like, man, I love Christian McCaffrey. This is not no hate. This I have to preface my statements because time you say anything that could seem like it's negative or a critique, you hate on your team. It's like, no, man, I'm not hating. I'm just pointing out the obvious. Jordan Mason deserved more run. I believe he's shown that he deserved more rushing attempts.
yeah,
And I believe that, you know, Brandon Ayuk, throw him a bone. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
for real.
Yeah.
Like but we're about to get out of here because it's gonna be a short show because it's just my reaction show. I
Most
appreciate you
definitely.
coming on, Twin. I will not be back next week until our game. I'll be doing a reaction show for our game right after our game on next Saturday on Christmas Eve. Like but yeah, I'm going to Costa Rica for the week. So it's
Woo!
yeah. Merry Christmas to me.
The family or just you and the
Oh
little?
no, me and the whole family, like
Okay.
in-laws included. Like so
Ooh.
yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Like it's my first time being out of the country, so pray for me. And
Well, make sure you before you leave, find out the foreign currency there. Because sometimes they want you to exchange your American money
yeah.
for their money. I would tell you if you leave it like if you're living in a all exclusive resort,
Hmm.
keep some American money on you, man. It goes a lot longer for those individuals that are there.
Hmm.
I remember I traveled, out of the country, and I was like, man, I changed my money into foreign currency, and I kind of felt bad because it's like my American dollar could have went a lot farther. And it wouldn't
Oh,
be
okay, I see.
like it wouldn't have done me, it wouldn't have affected me for real. So it's like give them a little opportunity for whether it's the housekeeper, the people that are
Yeah.
serving you, or whatever you tip in if you go on the taking a ride to uh the store or something like that. Give them some
Yeah,
American
like,
food.
yeah, I'm gonna talk
So
to my
yeah,
wife about that. Like, I'm sure that's a
yeah,
good idea. But so one more time, let them know where they can find you on the socials, and then I'm gonna let everybody know where they can find my stuff, and then we're gonna get out of here because I gotta be at work in the
yeah.
morning.
Most definitely, man. Yes, sir. Hey, gotta make that money for that Costa Rica trip.
Yeah, for sure.
The handle down below at Twin Empire is my Twitter handle. So if you follow that, you will find me on Twitter. And also, if you just put in Twin Empire, that's my YouTube without the X or the number two. You can follow me on those two, man, and I definitely appreciate it. And again, make sure you like, sub to the channel. Make sure
Hmm.
you leave a comment. And same with Peter, you know what I'm saying? With Pete, make sure you do the same with him. And also hit the even a notification bell as well, so you can get you can be alerted whenever we hop online, go live, or post any new content as well. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, for sure. I appreciate Twin coming on tonight, like short notice. And but yeah, I wanted to enjoy this win with somebody. And yeah,
Bang
Niners,
bang Niner
baby.
gang.
Niners,
Boo
baby.
boo.
Like
Bang bang
we
Niner
won the
gang.
division. Like now we're coming for those playoffs. Like we want to get as high of a seed as we can. Everybody needs to be praying for all of us. Like but yeah, like you can find it. Obviously, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and like you just punch in. All you got to do is Google Niner Fanatic Podcast, and all this stuff will pop up. You can get the audio versions anywhere where you can get your podcast. So I don't care where you get it, just go get it. And yeah, and like I said, and like Twin was talking about, make sure you tell a friend and have them tell a friend, and then we can be friends. And like we can do this every weekend.
Every weekend. Come on now.
Like but
I
yeah,
like
like
that.
just make sure that you hit that like button, hit the share, hit the bell so that you can get notified every time I go live. You never know who's going to be on. So but once again, we going to finish it off. Go Niners.
Go Niners, bang bang. Let's go. Peace.